like playing your first Christmas Day game and for you guys to get the win as a rookie? What was that experience like for you?
I'd say it's a dream come true. I think every single one of us dreamed of playing on Christmas Day. And, my first year in the NBA, I get to play on Christmas. It was special. And I know it's special for my family as well.
So you learned in the NBA, obviously you play teams multiple times. College, that really doesn't happen. What have you learned? Like this is going to be another matchup for you guys against the Kings. Tell me your experience in just seeing how the games go when you play guys, like I said, multiple times in a short period of time.
Yeah, I think, just take it one game at a time and then move on to the next one. College, you got to, you can watch the film and stuff and learn, but the NBA moves so much quicker that you got to move on to the next one. You got the next team coming in, or you're flying to a new place, so, you got to get ready for the next team.
Do you find that guys know what to expect from you when they see you second and third time?
For sure. I think, being on the scout report, you definitely kind of know everybody's scout, for sure.
It was like
it was good. Played in preseason and stuff, and, he said he likes my game a lot, and then, going out there and competing, he loves to compete, and I do too, so, it was a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dalton, you're about to be 17 years younger than your teammates. LeBron James. Turns 40 in a couple days. What's it like going to work every day with him? And have you seen anything in the way he handles his business that explains how he's been able to do what he's done?
For sure. Ever since I first got here, I asked if I could join one of his workouts and watch his day-to-day routine, and he makes sure he really recovers his body, especially after a workout. Even before workouts, he's in the cold tub or icing something before he goes out and gets warmed up. So, just watching how he recovers, how he keeps his longevity.
What about his energy? His day-to-day.
He always brings energy. I think he gets us going the most. When we see him having fun out there, then that brings the joy to us.
So does it mean it's motivation for you to keep going like that on your 40?
For sure. I hope, I'll be in the league just as long as he am, and playing until I'm 40.
Is there any kind of personal relief for you to have a good shooting performance, good offensive contributions in the midst of a team win on Wednesday, considering your 10 games prior to it?
To be honest, I don't really care about makes or misses. I know I'm a really good shooter, so no matter what, if I'm open or someone contested, I'm going to shoot it. And my teammates got confidence, and JJ has been saying that he has confidence in me to go out there and shoot it, so I'm just going to keep shooting shots.
What's one thing that you've learned about LeBron as a teammate that you wouldn't have known before you got into the league and joined the team?
I would say, can you ask that again?
What's one thing that you've learned about LeBron, whether it's on or off the court, that you didn't know about him before joining the Lakers as a teammate?
I would say, I'd probably say how much he loves to play Madden. I feel like he always talks about him playing Madden, but I didn't really know it that much. He watches it on the plane and stuff. So he watches film just like it is basketball. It's crazy.
Appreciate it. About how in-game situations has helped with your development, or he thinks that that's one of the keys to how you've been able to grow. What would you say has been the biggest takeaways from those experiences with your development over this stretch?
So end-game situations? Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are high-pressure, high-stakes situations throughout the course of the game. And I'd say the biggest highlight of end-game situation for me this year that I learned from was OKC. So just knowing time and score, knowing the situation of the game, that was probably the biggest learning moment for me when you talk about in-game situations. And so I'm going to be in more of those hopefully throughout the season. So it's going to help me out. We were in one in Golden State the other day, so some mistakes there too that we cleaned up as a team. So just being in more of those is good for my experience, good for my IQ.
How much of a morale boost was that win for you guys, and what are you hoping to carry over with one of the biggest wins of the season?
Yeah, we want to carry that momentum into into the games coming up now too. We have a lot of home games. We got Cleveland, I think, and SAC coming up here soon. So those are two good teams that we need to protect home court for. So that's a good momentum builder for us that win on Christmas. So we're looking forward to kind of building off of that, keeping that energy going, keeping that momentum going for us, and just trying to stack some wins.
Last couple of years,
gave you really good praise, saying you're part of the reason why this team has played such good defense. What made the exception of the Detroit game? When you hear something like that, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, I mean that's great encouragement for me because that's kind of what I focus on is my defensive pride and kind of that end of the floor. If I'm able to contribute on that end and make a 3 or 2 and kind of be aggressive on the offensive end, then I think I can help us win a lot of games. And so far I think I've been doing a decent job, just kind of guarding the best player, giving them my best fit, my best energy, trying to make it tough for them. And I think it kind of energizes the team as well. We start at the point of attack and kind of make it tough for them. It kind of trickles down to everybody else.
the last couple of years, you've put in so much work with the hope of getting consistent playing time. And now that you're a starter and having the role, how does it kind of line up to how you envision what it will be like when you earned it?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched for the last 2.5 years, just kind of seeing how it goes, and it's different when you're actually in it and you actually experience it. So it was a bit of a learning curve to start for sure, but I think I've gotten a lot more comfortable with the guys that I'm playing with, the rest of the starters, just kind of being in that position for a minutes load, and just kind of who I'm guarding and stuff like that. So it's different for sure. Obviously, from watching it to actually being in it, but this experience has helped me out a lot. I think it's good for me to experience this now. Like you said, I've worked hard for this, and I think I'm just trying to continue to stack the days and try to, stay with it because it can be, taken away at any moment. So I'm just trying to stay with it.
And a lot of you guys got here because you were the leading scorer in your team at some point on many, probably several levels on your way up here. I think you had double-digit shot attempts against Golden State, but that's not really been kind of your shot diet since you've been in the starting lineup. Has that been an adjustment just in terms of, I guess not using that as a way to feel,
just
motivate,
Yeah, I don't measure my success in the game by the amount of shots I take or the amount of points I score. It's been an adjustment for sure, absolutely. I think, like you said, growing up, you're kind of the guy on most of your teams, and then you come, into an organization like this where you have a bunch of all-stars and Hall of Famers, and you're not that guy anymore, obviously. So it's been an adjustment. I've been adjusting for the last 2 years, and now I feel extremely comfortable. And like I said, I don't measure my success from a game off of the amount of shots I take, the amount of points I score, and whatnot. So it's more so for me, obviously, my defense and my energy. And usually when I have those and those are at a high level, then kind of the offense flows and follows for me a little bit. So that's how I measure my success in the game.
LeBron's about to turn 40 here in a couple of days. As a young guy, practicing against him, playing with him, do you ever catch yourself marveling and just going, God, this dude is about to be 40 and he's still playing at this level?
Yeah, I think it's good to have perspective. Definitely good to kind of take a step back a lot in these situations because this is a long season. Guys kind of get trapped. We all get trapped. We're just kind of in the flow. So it's good to take steps back all the time. And when you do that, you kind of just see who you're playing with, see the organization you're with, and that's definitely a big part of it. You look at LeBron and you see what he's doing at his age, and you see what he's been doing throughout his career. And being able to be a teammate, to watch it, play with him, be a part of it, help him win games, help the team win games. So it's definitely, when you take steps back, you look at kind of just a bigger perspective. That's something you look at.
What do you think you'll be doing when you're 40?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll be playing, hopefully, maybe not. Hopefully I'm trying to get like 10 to 15 years out of this league since I came in at a young age. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm either playing or retired and doing my thing. I have no idea. I haven't thought that far yet.
15, 20. Come on, you gotta up it up.
I think you've had a couple months here with your career. What's it been like playing the same city?
Oh, it's great. I mean, we are spending time with him yesterday. My parents are here too, so it's just super easy for us as a family to kind of hang out, especially on holidays like this. So the quality of life is great. It's a lot better than the last 2 years just because of having someone like him out here all the time that I can spend time with. So it's great. It's a lot easier for me, just kind of enjoying time with him and my parents as well. So it's awesome.
You following him in the field?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been doing pretty well. He's got a game today against Memphis, I think, down there. So he's going to do well in that. But he's been playing well so far for them down there. He's kind of getting in his groove. He's finding his footing in the G League and in the NBA in general. So it's cool to see him go through his own thing too. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Strong, quite strong. Is that a specific question as to his availability?
His availability.
Just
His character. How's his character? No. How's his
I'll just give you an update on all our guys. So, Braun and Rui, excused absence, homesick today. Doctors have checked them out. I would say they are questionable for tomorrow. But they're homesick. AD was in the building, got treatment. He is also questionable for tomorrow. D'Lo participated in practice, except for the contact portion. He's probably trending towards probable.
Okay.
And then Jackson Hayes was a participant in practice today for portions, but didn't do any of the contact stuff. And I would just describe him as day-to-day. Okay?
It's a lot of people.
I didn't have any notes for that either.
So you'll have
Did I get all that right, Mitch?
so you'll have enough players to play them.
Yeah.
How did Jackson look and what he was able to do?
Good. You know, his work primarily focused on the defensive and offensive breakdown. And he looked good, moved well. So excited whenever it is to have him back in the lineup.
What have you missed without him? What does he bring?
You know, I think offensively for us, just the rim running, the pace with which he's able to get from one action to the next as a big. He's really good in the half court at screening, rolling, getting back to a second action. You know, I think him and D'Lo with some of the lob stuff. He puts pressure on the rim as a roller. And then defensively, he had his best stretch for us prior to being injured. He had a 4 or 5 game stretch where he was great on both ends. And he was also crashing, getting offensive rebounds for us. So we've missed him. I thought Christian the other night in Golden State, his minutes were awesome. I felt that during the game. The film backed that up. Just being active at the rim, getting the offensive rebounds, creating second opportunities for us. Really good stuff.
JJ, as 40 comes here pretty quickly for LeBron, do you remember what you thought about when he came into the league? Are you surprised at kind of how quickly it's gone? And what do you think has contributed to him playing at such a high level as he approaches his 40th birthday?
I played against LeBron in high school, so I knew that he was going to be great in the NBA. I don't think you can ever predict, no matter how much the prognosticators label people that are 16, 17, 18 years old, whether or not they're going to be all-time greats, which he turned out to be. And to be clear, it hasn't gone quickly for me. The last 21 years, you know, it's kind of mind-boggling just to be in this position, coaching him, playing against him for 15 years, taking 3 years of calling his games, and then he's still playing at this level. Feels like he's just been doing this forever, and not a small stretch in human history, but forever. And that's just speaks to, again, his competitive stamina and his love of the game.
You guys have 2 real games, I think, outside of Los Angeles between now and basically the next month. What are you hoping that brings for this stretch here? Access to this building on a regular basis?
Starting with just trying to get our complete squad back and our group completely healthy. I think that's, you know, we're hoping to get Jackson back. We're hoping to get Seawood back. Hoping to get Bando back during this stretch. So that's probably the top of mind for me. And then just continuing to build on what we've done since starting with the Atlanta game, which is we've competed, we've played together, try to play the right way. I think our game plan discipline has been really good. So I like where our team is at. I like where our team is trending. I'm going to really like it when we're completely healthy.
Is that the order you think of those 3 guys, Jackson, Seawood, Bando?
I have no prediction on Seawood or Bando. I mean, we're giving you guys updates when we get them. But I think Jackson would be first if I had to guess. Yeah.
You're going to try to beat the Kings for the 4th time this season on Saturday. How has the series kind of evolved through the first 3 games? What's changed about the matchup, and what will it take to sweep them?
Similar to the 2 games in Sacramento, I think it's an important game for us to get off to a good start. That's always important on the road. Coming off a loss at home, I think it's important for us to get off to a good start. We did that in Sacramento, particularly on the defensive end. When a team, and they're going through it right now, like a lot of teams do throughout the year, they're in a tough stretch, and you know, getting off to a good start and guarding well, I think is just helpful overall, not only for our spirit, but just not giving them juice. And you look at the first game, it was a high-scoring game. Ron had that crazy stretch in the second half. And as good as that win was, I liked the 2 games in Sacramento where we won with our defense. And our shooting the last 2 games has started to tick back up. So hopefully we can put it all together.
JJ, you guys have a 92.8 defensive rating. Starting. What's worked so well with those 5?
Yeah, I would say, even though we've had high turnover games, particularly the Detroit game, and that maybe is the outlier of the fast break thing, I think our transition defense has been really good with that group, and we're actually allowing less transition opportunities. So that's important. I think Max being in the lineup gives us a little more optionality with how we want to match up against teams, and even within the game, not necessarily how we start matchups, but then being able to sort of cross match, which we did a little bit with Golden State. I think it just, it's having AR, which he was doing at the beginning of the year, guarding a primary guy, and then we put Cam in, took AR off. He had a good stretch. And then we had Dalton in, and AR kind of had to go back to that a little bit when he got back. So I like Max in that lineup because it just gives us more optionality defensively.
When you guys get completely healthy,
He thought that was a good idea. Like,
What?
Very early, Max.
Well,
He was on it.
I told you guys that's our first preseason game. I said that to our coaching staff. I said, it would make a lot of sense for our team if Max was the fifth guy. So I like that group right now.
when you guys get completely healthy, do you have an idea of how much you will need to see before you get, I guess, an input or a really good idea on what maybe needs to happen at the trade deadline, if anything?
No, again, Rob and I, we talk all the time, but my focus is on coaching this group and trying to maximize this group. And frankly, I have belief that when this group is healthy, we can. If there's a move to be made, there's a move to be made. But I'm focused on this group.
What do you think has been the biggest keys to Max's growth over this stretch, and what have you liked the most from his development over this time?
I think for his development overall, being a young player in his third year and being in endgame situations is huge. And some he's handled really well, and some he's made mistakes, but that's okay. But it's not okay for the result of our team, but it's okay for him. That's part of development. Getting those opportunities now, I think, are big. And truthfully, I was talking to one of our coaches about this. Like, my third year was the first time that I got into some of those situations. I was in and out of the rotation that year, but I got a lot of end game stuff and super valuable. And that was, of course, the year we made the finals. So I think for him, it's been great.